Twitch, tapos ikaw na bahala.
Okay. I think everything is set up for this episode number 2. Hello, everybody. Hello to our viewers. This is Tac Pause episode 2. And I believe someone has some explaining to do. This is L. And you can see those three people above me or beside me. I don't know, but they're together. So, odd one out right here. I'm going to be anchoring for today. So, how are you feeling, guys, in your small little safe space?
Liking it. I'm liking that a certain someone's wearing the color of the jersey of a certain team.
Shush.
Actually.
I'll do his intro first. Mamaya.
There's already the roasting, no?
He'll always get roasted.
No, but it's fine. It's fine. It's really cozy. We're here for an event.
This guy came here 4 minutes ago. Like
Yes,
4
sir.
minutes ago. I kid you not. Look, he's still wearing his pants. He still has his. Well, I mean, I have my watch on, but still, and like he's not sweaty. It's that's one thing I will give to him. He's not sweaty.
Yeah.
He's fresh.
Yeah, he's fresh. He's fresh. I mean, he just got there. He's supposed to be fresh, naman. So I think we have some explaining to do, everyone, because we're going to be revisiting the tier list, and I think there's a special mention, right? So if we go to the tier list, if we can get to the tier list in a sec. I believe that we put our predictions for like this Pacific, this VCT Pacific rosters. Very good for some teams, but I think there's supposed to be someone below, right? There's a new.
Yeah.
There's a new tier below DFM, and I think
Dito.
we should put it,
DFM beat him.
or we should call it like
Lost to
teams that
DFM.
lost to DFM. Yeah. So first team to go there, honorary T1. So yeah, I wanna ask you guys, why do you think DFM won? No, wait. Why do you think T1 lost? That's the better question.
Right. So T1, just for context, right? They were up here between playoffs and Masters Shanghai, and they're gonna go
Crazy.
all the way down to the bottom
Mm-hmm.
because they lost to DFM. And you know, I'm gonna credit this to, I think there's a hunger in this DFM roster now.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have in 2023, right? Because this is a whole new roster. They essentially picked up almost the entirety of Crazy Raccoons, who were an Ascension team last year, right? They kind of quote unquote cheated the system, right? They didn't make it into tier 1, but they made it into tier 1 by a different route. And now that they're here, they have this hunger that is insatiable. And I think you can see it. I mean, we saw there was a graphic, diba, where you saw the highest ACS rating for week 1,
Uh-huh.
and DFM's May was at the very top. And you know, everything was just working so well for this team. Like you could see the reads were great. You can see the set plays were great too, and they had their pop off moments too. So I think this DFM roster, right? When we made this tier list, we kind of forgot that this isn't DFM 2023. This is Crazy Raccoons
Yeah.
DFM.
Yeah.
Okay, let
Actually.
me put in for a sec before you roast me, L. That was what I was gonna say.
Nah,
sorry.
save it. No. I
No,
don't think
wait.
you had the words. Bro.
Teka lang.
I think you had the right.
No.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Hindi, kasi I want to double down on Josh's points because at T1 they haven't had the best weekend. When they lost to Paper Rex, sure, Paper Rex a team that they never beat yet.
Mhm.
But at DFM they didn't look that bad. It was a 1-2. It was kind of a close series, but it was just DFM doing great. So
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
I want to point something out, Matt. I want to point something out. They didn't do that bad, but last episode, you deleted the logo.
Yeah,
Right?
listen. It was pre first week for a reason, right? It was pre first week for a reason.
Looking at me.
No,
Okay,
I mean,
sir.
it's not
Okay.
the put DFM there.
I'm not the one that's editing the clips, okay? You're gonna have to defend yourself.
Listen. We all put DFM there.
But we didn't delete the logo.
There's still
Sino yung nag-predict na mananalo yung Team Secret? Asan yun? Sino yun?
Hey.
Sino?
We didn't delete it. We had it.
Sino na nag-predict? Wala na yung team secret. Sino lang?
Hey, do not change the topic. Do not change the topic.
Balik tayo, balik tayo.
I feel like T1 really lost. I feel like it's one of three factors. Number one is because they played a different comp in Sunset
Mhm.
as well as Hent. And number two, I'm not quite sure if they have been able to fully reset against Paper Rex during their loss against them. And number three is that we always, once we hear DFM, we always think of like the
It's by default.
yeah, it's the default na
Default M.
okay, so this team most likely they're gonna lose because something like that. But we always forget that they have like a completely different roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
It-
my 2 cents.
It also reminds me of last year. I think in Americas you had Crew
Uh-huh.
who were 0-9 also in that
Right?
season, and then they
Actually.
in LCQ, and yeah, they got into champions via LCQ after having 0-9 in regular season, and I think, well, it's not LCQ now because we don't have LCQ, but DFM in a new
Yeah.
season with a new roster, showing that they have the power. I mean, we had T1, right, almost guaranteed, at least in our tier list, to make it to Master Shanghai.
Mm-mm.
And
I'm
now,
not so sure
now,
anymore.
like everything's up in the air.
Okay. Yeah.
Really nice
I-
because these are the types of situations that we are happy to be proven wrong. Actually,
Yeah.
right? Because that it just means that there's growth
Just don't roast
between
me.
the
Come
teams.
on.
For you.
Yeah.
You
We're
deleted
sorry. I
the
mean,
link.
we're not
No.
gonna roast you here, but the first short's definitely gonna be featuring you.
Yeah. Good luck with that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So while we're discussing about the honorary short for Daedom with that DFF deletion, I think this speaks to the fact that yeah, we have one team. So this speaks to the fact that there's growth in the Pacific, right? There's not a team that's unbeatable per se. There's no more. Wait, actually, there's still one thing. There's still one thing. I want to call this out because there's going to be a match between Bleed and DFM, and I think I sent a meme on. I sent a meme on the GC. It's the stoppable force versus the movable object, right? So I think we're gonna get to that, but yeah, I think we can go towards the rest of the matches. Looking at VLR right now, like in the past week, and surprisingly, there's not a lot of other than DFM. There's not a lot of wild results. I think we all predicted. I think TS. It was other than Josh who predicted DRX, if I
Yeah.
remember
And
correctly,
RRQ.
and RRQ.
I was the
and
only
then-
one correct in the RRQ prediction, by the way.
And
Yeah,
then
the
I
rest
think
goes-
there's
yes.
yeah, the one with the lowest prediction rate is
Wait,
gone in a
okay.
far off place. The one that predicted for GE,
Can
so
we
he's
show
gone.
that?
Yes, we can.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's show the predictions, guys. Come on.
There we go.
Prediction tracker. Keep track of who has the worst and the best prediction rate. Right, so far, the lowest in the entire group, Salvatore, has only 50%.
Coincidentally, he's not here today.
Yes.
Unfortunately for him, so he's not gonna be able to defend himself from the. Yeah, he's gonna be in Batangas tomorrow, I think. Yeah, so unfortunately he can't defend himself. But I mean, what's there to defend, man?
What's there to defend?
What's there to defend? Like, look at this: GE over Zeta. Hello. Bleed
I
over
mean-
Talon. Hello.
I feel like he really wants to go for the underdogs here. Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay,
I
so if you guys want to be going on betting sites, which of course only bet if you only bet what you can lose,
Mhm.
don't follow Salvatore's advice.
I think we can agree we all would have made some money back, but Salvatore would have lost it all.
You would have
I
lost
think-
everything.
I mean, who predicts GE? And who predicts GE? I mean, okay, RRQ was kind of like a good choice by Josh, but GE, nah, that goes out the window for now. But you can see
What are you doing here, bro?
I think he's just playing villain at this point.
he's playing spoiler, he's playing like the no guys, I'm the left field for this podcast. But there's a good reason why he's not here. He's going out of town, casting somewhere else. But thank God
our
Daedum's
worst
still
thing
here.
is, getting the bag.
Yeah.
Because if it's not Salvatore we're roasting, it's going to be Daedum, of course, guys.
It's always
So-
me. Come on. It's always me. Anyway.
Crystal is just Datum being roasted.
Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the tier list.
Back to
Yeah, we've been
One team does not belong.
I think more than one team doesn't belong.
Yes, but a certain team that we also mentioned several times over the last few minutes, right?
Mhm.
This one, right?
Oh yeah. I backed
This
that up.
one right
I
here,
backed that up.
bro. We put him in essentially the top 4 of the tier list, right? We put him in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to RRQ. They lose to DRX, who were 2 tiers lower than them. And now, where do we even put them, right? Do we even put them in DFM? Arguably better looking than how Team Secret looked. And I'm going to be honest, right? I'm not a fan of the Sova on Sunset.
real
Mhm.
though. They really need a larger agent pool.
Yeah,
at
it
this
do.
point.
Oh my gosh, wait. I just remembered one specific round, right?
Mhm.
Jesse Vash throws out his recon bolt. It does get some info. It tagged like a couple of
But it's
people.
lacking.
And then he immediately uses his Hunter's Fury. You know what he hit?
Nah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I love Jesse Bash. He's like the pillar of.
I mean, like
esports.
he's everyone's granddaddy, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, you take a look at the stats alone for RRQ. I mean, just pure numbers. Jesse Vash is at the bottom consistently.
I feel so bad. Like I don't want to disrespect him or anything.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's not a jab at him, but the performance from Team Secret's IGL is just.
Yeah, I just really hope that they can innovate more in terms of their playstyle as well. Because you can see like tons of teams trying to adapt with like the newer agents that we currently have. We have some teams who are currently adapting Fade. We have some teams currently adapting the Gecko, which is the best thing for us to see.
I love Gecko.
Because they eventually learned that, you know what? Instead of having Gecko adjust to us, we need to adjust to the Gecko himself. Because that's literally only utilities, right? So yeah, I really wish that Team Secret would be able to get that sort of like burst of energy for them to actually learn something else so that they can, you know, set the par up to against the other teams who are currently doing well right now. Like specifically Forsaken, hands down, 8 agents being
not even
played.
8, right?
Not even
If you
8,
open his
even
VLR,
more.
right?
It is just really crazy. Like every single agent, he can play it so flawlessly. So yeah.
Yeah, but I want to give them benefit of the doubt because this is still Team Secret. I
And
wanna-
it's
It's
only
a
been
start.
Yeah,
It's a
they've only had 2 matches for the first split. How many matches does Team Secret have? They get 6, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they got 6.
Yeah.
And the rules to get into the playoffs is to be in the top 3 and to have at least 2 wins, but they've already lost 2. So they have 4 matches to win that hopefully put them higher than everyone else in the group, and they need to have at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Team Secret, lagi silang, they need a little time to cook, right? So I'm gonna give them a bit of benefit of the doubt, but I'm bumping them down to Dark Horse. I mean, that's just me. That's I still got
Yeah.
some hope, Yamini John.
Okay. Wait, but we'll put it in
Agreed,
Dark Horse,
agreed,
but lower than
agreed.
RRQ. Agreed? Because they lost to RRQ.
Agreed.
And in the fashion that they lost, I think, I mean, DFM had closer wins, right? Had closer score lines in terms of winning out against T1. And the way in Team Secret lost was like convincing. 8-13, 6-13s. I mean, the RQ Icebox, I think, was the only overtime. But other than that, when they were comfortable on the map, they got their wins convincingly. But when they are contested on the map, like other teams also play this map, they have a hard time. It's like they don't have the better edge. They only have the edge in terms of the maps that they know that other team is not gonna play against them because it was unexpected. For example, the split on RRQ, right? Nobody expected them to pick split because they haven't played it since like a year ago against the old PRX. But look at us now, right? They won on that, and the rest of the maps contested by everyone else in Pacific. They had to bring out something out of the bag, something out of the deep pockets of the strats just to win, but still ends in a loss, right? So I think if Matt wants to put them in Dark Horse, I think put them next to Global. I want to see this match, right? It should be something like that.
Listen, I think there's a factor here that we're failing to consider. I think I think Team Secret looks that bad because DRX dumped them. I think DRX is just way too low. Masyado lang ata mababa yung tier list natin sa DRX,
So
I
we go to
think.
Team Secret we go back to Team Secret later. Then
Yeah.
let's look at
Yeah.
success over the teams that have fallen, right? So
Okay.
we've seen success out of Zeta, we've seen success out of DRX, and we've seen success out of
It's
DFM
good plan.
or the last week, right? And I think DFM, considering what they did to T1, I think they belong in Dark Horse now.
I think so. At least.
At
At
least,
least Dark Horse, right?
at least.
And then
It's so funny that we have a DFM tier, but not bleed in it.
No, I think the DFM tier is like honorary. It's an honorary for the first tier of DFM.
Yeah.
We just put teams there if they're
It's in honor
performing like the DFM.
Yeah, it's in memory of 2023 DFM roster. That's what it is. It's not
Yeah.
okay. Well, we're gonna edit it just to be clear. We'll call it 2023 DFM.
To be clear.
Alright,
God. Okay, now it's clear. Now it's clear.
it's clear, it's clear, it's clear.
6.
Okay. So
Other teams improving?
what we have right now, right? We have two teams unequivocally expected to be in Master Shanghai. Our playoffs tier is empty. The T1 tier doesn't have T1
I think we should
anymore.
just-
Let's
I think
just
we
get
should
rid of
delete
this
it.
row. Yeah. And now, right, we have 4 dark horses. We can't have 4 dark horses, right?
On playoff for me.
Talent on playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
love how Governor has been able to like get the job done while the rest of the team is just like paving the way, the red carpet even.
Yeah.
And he just dances, you know?
It gives
and
me
he wins it every single time.
it gives me like some flashbacks of like those really nice clean set plays that are very
Yeah,
intentional. Like, you know
so
exactly how to use your
clean.
utility because
Mistakes.
unlike some teams on this tier list, right? Some of the executes depend on someone getting a kill first,
Mhm.
right? But the way that most, or at least the upper tier of let's say the upper half of this tier list, right? The way that they go on and execute doesn't depend on whether or not they get a kill. They get the space hoping to get a kill in that area,
Yep.
right? So with that being said, do we put Dark Horse up in playoffs?
I think Talon still is a
Talon.
dark horse because
Yeah.
of the way that they played their 2 matches. I mean, it's like this, right? You remember when we ranked the Bleed winning over, I think it was GE. I think this applies to Talon winning over Bleed. That doesn't count. We haven't seen like
Yeah.
them facing off like a team of their same caliber. They only face Bleed. They only face Genji. Other than that, there's nothing. Right? There's nothing yet. So I think Dark Horse is perfect. Playoffs is a bit of a reach. But who I want to talk about playoffs though is DRX. We need to bump them up all the way up there.
Definitely need to bump them up. They look so much better.
Mhm.
Because I don't know if it's because they're better than Team Secret or because right now Team Secret seem to be hitting a slump. Right? But either way,
Well,
Yeah.
it's a 2-0,
either
Josh.
way,
So
yeah, it's true.
They're on the top of the table for a reason, right?
I'm gonna move them up here, somewhere in the middle of Dark Horse.
She's pretty close.
no.
No, they were
Right?
not.
Honestly, I would put
They were
DRX.
not
Yes,
close.
they looked so good, and I think the biggest argument that we had for DRX was Bane coming in.
Bane.
Yeah,
Bane
but
coming
he
in.
looked so good.
Exactly.
I think they put him on. They put him on Sentinel,
Yeah.
and he was fragging out on Sentinel, and it was insane because like when you have that kind of firepower and you don't need to put them on the duelist, right? Like say for example, Sentinels right now in the Americas, right? Your most mechanically gifted players, arguably 3 out of 5 of them are insane, right?
Mhm,
You have
mhm.
Tens, you have John QT, you have Zekin. Tens is playing on the Omen.
Oh man.
John QT on the Sentinel,
right?
and or the
Zelfus.
Viper, right? So
Mm.
I think that also gives me like flashbacks to what kind of potential DRX has as a team because they don't need to depend on one star player. They know that they can get the space according to their game plan, and if it doesn't work out, they immediately have a backup, right?
And
Yeah, the
everything-
mid rounding is great for DRX.
Every single one of them has something to offer to the table. Yeah.
I think
That's
just put
true.
them playoffs because
Yeah.
if you take a look at the matches from this week, I mean DRX 2-0 Team Secret, 2-0 Global, but Talon, for example, 2-1 on Bleed, right? So it's
Yeah.
not as convincing. And then you got RRQ 2-1 on Team Secret as well. I mean DRX is the only definitive result that I'm seeing from the
Mhm.
first week.
It's somewhat. It's like we lack some sort of data because having that type of a match with Gen G as well.
Oh, that's true.
Nah, it's
That's
not
so
enough.
fair.
Not enough.
That's also fair. I mean, like Genji 2-0ing talent is kind of a given. I mean, I'd expect him to
Mm-mm.
2-0 maybe everyone except
Yeah,
Paper
they're just too
X.
powerful right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, so DRX in
So
playoffs.
Yeah, that's me.
yeah, the RX in playoffs. Now instead of bumping up teams, how about I stop demoting teams in tier? Who do you guys think? Because I have a team in mind.
I think I have a team in mind too.
I don't want to say it first. You guys go say it in unison. It has to be 3, 2, 1. Team name. Come on.
Secret.
I want. wait, wait. That was not what I was expecting. That was
So listen. Okay, listen. Right?
okay. Go, go, go.
We love Team Secret, right? They're great players, but right now we don't need players. We need a freaking team, bro.
yeah.
They look like a mess. They looked like they were running around blindfolded somehow, and they were being led by some fake cheese smell across the map. For some reason, it was just not working out the entire time, right? We sunset with Sova, questionable at at best, terrible at worst,
Yeah.
right? And then
Mhm.
not to mention how they played all the other maps over the last week, right? They played against two teams, like RRQ, who we
Yeah.
said were arguably a dark horse, and they're in dark horse with Team Secret right now. And I think after having that interaction, we one of them has to leave this tier, right? And either
Mhm.
RRQ goes up or Team Secret goes down.
Yep.
But I don't think
Fair.
RRQ go up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
think
not yet.
it's-
Not yet. No.
Yeah, it's too early. Um, yeah, actually,
And
I want to point other than a better or innovating or like a better agent pool, I feel like they really have to keep on the consistency. I mean, it's like it's been the 2 years that we're pointing that out, but
Mhm.
anyway, there's still this certain difficulty that they
You know what?
suffer
It's
from.
so sad because right, we had the
Oh, here we
Ren
go.
Esports in champions
Yeah.
2 years ago, and now they look like a Mickey Mouse team. It's like what's going on?
No, not like this. Team Secret.
They look like a Mickey Mouse team compared to everyone else. Well, I mean, not against Bleed
I just want to keep
Yeah,
them
not-
there.
or GE.
I just want to keep them there in hopes that this week they perform better.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have 4 more matches to make
Yeah.
to make a name for
Yeah.
themselves.
They've got
But
retribution.
but
But what's
they're
the
not in the
caveat
same
here?
tier as RRQ anymore.
Yeah, they're not in the same. So I think it deserves like a bump down to still needs time, even though that's actually a lot of time. But if you still have some hopium for Team Secret,
The oldest players in the league still need more time.
I mean, to be fair, it's
Okay.
2 out of 5. Like we have what?
Okay, okay.
We have- we
okay.
got
I'm sorry.
NDG,
I
we
love
had-
you. I love Team Secret.
We had NDG, we got Envy, we have Jeremy, who are undisputedly like just
They're so
powerhouses, right? They're insanely good. They're so good with the util, and they can frag out regardless of what age
Frag
they
out.
want.
Yeah.
token of appreciation for like NDG as well, because despite of the fact that there are like a lot of doubts amongst people.
It's doing really good.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, you,
No.
I think there
Mhm.
was this whole talk about like stage jitters for NDG the first time he showed up in kickoff, and yeah, maybe the jitters got to him in kickoff, but right now I think NDG
Nah.
looked really good.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, he got over
Yeah.
those first time jitters, the stage, he got rid of the stage fright, and now he's able to frag out. But again, the problem with Team Secret right now is they're not able to frag out consistently. Right, you don't like in a perfect world in a team structure that is working and functional and it's well thought out.
Mm.
Right, you don't need someone to frag out.
That's
Mhm.
true. That's true.
The only thing you intend for someone to frag out is the duelist, right? Because if say for example your sentinel has to frag out, your controller has to frag out, and if they don't, then you don't win. That means that your intended plan doesn't work.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think
Exactly.
needs to fix out some hitches because
Something, right?
Like,
I don't know. Set plays, mid
you
rounding.
talk about their three powerhouse and then Mokrob absolutely popping off in their RRQ game. So one thing needs to be fixed. I'm not gonna name any names, but Team Secret, get your shit together, please.
Please, I'm begging you, okay? As a Filipino fan, when I wake up for VCT Pacific, I want to be able to cheer for a team that can win. And we've seen some hope, right?
Yeah.
They look decent on some maps, but decent doesn't cut it. Because this is tier 1, right? We don't want a team that can compete in tier 1. We want a team that can win, right? And
Uh huh.
you know, right, being the sole Filipino representatives, come on, give us some freaking hope, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get along with.
I hate to be a spoiler, guys, but I think if this downhill trend continues, there's a match between DFM and Team Secret in a week and 3 days. I don't. I cannot. My heart cannot take it. Seeing them in the bottom tier. I don't want them next 31. Right?
I will feel physical pain.
Listen, L, that's gonna be like the litmus test for me.
Why at least they gave us watch party permissions and
Yeah.
watch us mold every time Team Secret loses a round, right?
Exactly.
What are we doing? Please, just give us a win, please. We're begging on our knees, please.
Okay. I think we spent too much time on Team Secret.
Yeah, it's probably the bias, but again, right? We're just gonna
Okay.
Move on. We're gonna move on. Alright. So enough secret talk. Enough secret talk. What's no secret is that for me personally, global esports needs to be brought down with Bleed. I need to see this match first because global, yes, we have had some wins. We have had some wins with global, but with their performance with 2 matches under their card, from what I believe, and still getting only 1 map from those 2 matches, still needs time. Well, I don't think there's enough time in split one. That's going to be DFM level for me. I think I need to hear your thoughts about them going down because from what they looked like, right, against Zeta. Against DRX, that's fine. It's DRX for a reason. Against Zeta, though, it's still troubling for me knowing that upcoming matches in 2 days is Talon, and then next week is RRQ. Those are the same teams that should be on their level, but from what they showed, I think it's going to be DFM 2023 for me. What are your thoughts, guys, for global?
I do agree. I agree. At least for now, right? We've only seen 1 week of matches, and we do have another week. We are continuously adjusting our tier list as we go, right? It's not a we're gonna believe in this the entire season thing, right? It's we're gonna adjust to what we see is going on right now, and you know, as things move on, as teams are gonna be able to progress over the next few weeks, we're gonna see who is able to put themselves in Master Shanghai form or in playoffs form over 1, 2, 3 weeks of scrims. And you know, if they can't, then you know, at some point, still needs time means better luck next split.
Still needs time means better luck next time.
Yeah, I agree. I think global needs to take a step down because based from what we saw in their matchup, I think Zeta and global both improved, but Zeta improved way more than global did. I think way more, and putting them in the same tier like clicked for me in the first week, but now I see them face head to head. Global just is not in the same tier.
It's like global is in a place that they're like the same level of mess as Team Secret is, right? Like it's not that it's not that there's no firepower in the teams, right? You know that they can frag out. You know that these players are the best in their they're the best in their respective regions, and the way that you know, in fact, in right now, the way we're looking at it, I think Zeta Division slightly above Team Secret as well because they did fairly well last week.
I don't know. I think that's a conversation. That's a different conversation entirely. But global, I think, has had all the time in the world. I mean, they've improved, sure, but did they?
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough.
Not enough. All right. So, would you do the honors, please, Mr. Broadcaster, to put global down a tier?
Wait lang.
They gotta be above Bleed.
Okay.
I want to get to Bleed in a sec, pero Mochi was saying something about DFM earlier.
I just think that there might be a chance that we got overexcited to the fact that they won that series against T1 because you know once again there's like a lot of factors why T1 lost, and so I feel like it's better for them to be put at still needs time in a good light, of course. But up to you guys.
We're talking about DFM, right?
Okay. Counterpoint still needs time, but above Secret, below Zeta. Agree? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yes. We're gonna
Alright.
do that again later.
Okay.
So now that we've fixed our tier list, the only team that I think we haven't really touched on are the two Master Shanghai prospectives. I think Genji and Perex, and then Bleed. So I want to talk about. I want to save Bleed for last because Matt has something to say about Bleed, and I think it's gonna take a long time. So let's talk about Genji,
A lot of time.
Perex.
We're gonna time in 10 seconds.
Let's talk about Genji Perex because those matches, Chef's Kiss, especially with Jing being back, Genji still being Genji that we love and know. What are your opinions, guys? I think so far no one can challenge them, and I think so far there's not a lot of teams that can step up to their level. I think the Genji PRX matchup coming is going to be the talking point, and I want to hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah. I'll go first. So,
Go.
remember before we had week 1 start, we were a little iffy about Paper X because subbing out Monyet, bringing back Jing, now they're gonna have to rethink everything that they went through. So the question is, right? Do they change for the current meta? Do they go back to what they did in 2023? And there were a lot of question marks, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think their performance last week is just really indicative of just this, I don't know, right? Some otherworldly chemistry
Yeah.
that somehow Paper X is always in flow state.
He's back.
He's back.
He's
Jing's
back.
And then even if Jing's not on the race, Forsaken picks up the race, and it's still insane to watch. And the kind of form that Paper X are in, I think it's not about how high they can get, but it's more about like how high they can raise their floor.
Yeah.
Because their ceiling is just insane. See what they did about against like what's Benji Fishy's team Heretics?
Heretics.
Yeah, so what they did against Benji Fishy was like practically an insane sentinel. They were able to shut down people like Miniboo, right? And even shut down Loud. Or again, it's a different region, but you know, Loud have been on the world stage consistently over the last few years, and I think that's also a testament to what it looks like for PRX because to quote Coach Alex, right? He said they're at a 6 out of 10 form right now. So like, what does that even say about it, right? If that's 6 out of 10, what does 10 out of 10 look like?
Exactly.
Honestly, I'm more excited to see. Well, I wasn't surprised by the results from Paper X and Genji right from this week.
Yeah.
I'm more excited to see how DRX performs against these two top teams. Because judging from the first week matchups, they are the only 3 teams that have 2-0s across the board, like
True.
consistently in the last week. DRX going up against Paper X or Genji, I think, is going to be the real test for them with Bane joining the fray. So I'm more excited for that. But Paper X, I don't have much to say. Jing is back. I love it. They're only going to get better from this point. And I think Genji is going to go back to second place.
Back, makapal bol, he says.
Yeah, we love it. It's their go-to Tagalog spams.
Playmaker, right? So, I mean, it's already a given that they will be able to not only go back to their regular formatting or their regular programming, but it might unlock a lot more setups, a lot more creativity, a lot more room for them to work around with their individual strengths and weaknesses, you know, because there's like this certain match when Paper Dex is fighting up against, you know, T1. It's like they switched up some composition specifically in Bind. They got the Sky, they've got the Yoru, and at the same time they've got the Harbor, which is quite new for us to see.
Yeah,
so
both harbors, both
right,
Sans
both
Yeah,
others
yeah,
are playing
yeah,
Harbors
yeah.
too. So
Insane.
it's going to be really nice that Genji might dissect them further, but there's no like a clear idea if that dissection would give them any more
Right, or does it
additional
blow up in their
insight, you know, like,
faces?
yeah, they're like this, you know, Paper X, if not, we're not quite sure if they're like cooking up something new or something else, so Genji's just gotta watch out.
Yeah. And you know, also talking about Gen G, right? The flexibility of Gen G. Sometimes they look
superb,
like
yeah.
sometimes they look like a DRX. Sometimes they look like, you know, like new turn 2020 2021, right? Super passive, but they can still win these rounds, still win the maps off of being super patient. And then on some rounds they flip the switch and they look like a better Paper X. And that, I think that's what puts Gen G slightly above Paper X, is that because they have so many different looks. right? Because Paper Rex have
Could agree
they
more.
have one look, they have one
look.
characteristic, they have W gaming.
But they're so
Always
good at
they're
it.
so good at it, right? What there's a saying, right? Fear not the man who knows 1,000 punches, but fear the man who has trained
Trained
one punch
a
1,000
A
times.
thousand times.
Yeah.
True.
There you go.
Just digested that code, reflect on it so well. Yeah. That
Yeah.
second of
So I think moving on, right? So Genji, Paper X definitely still up there, and I think the DRX are definitely somewhere along the playoffs form. Also, side note before I forget, right? We already have our YouTube channel up, so look for Tac Pause on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page. We're live on all of our socials, plus the Facebook page, the centralized Tac Pause Facebook page. So you guys can follow us there, and we're gonna be putting up the events in advance. That way you can get notified for whenever we go live. In the future, is of course episode 2. Hoping to keep it going up to episode 3, 4 digits down the line.
Yes,
Anyway,
sir.
moving on, right? DRX playoffs. Who have we not? Who has
Yeah.
not moved on the tier list, right?
Yeah, this is the Matt special. Matt, what do you have to say about Bleed?
Okay. I just wanted to say bleed. Okay. I have a lot of
Okay. Datum, yeah, I have to stop you there. We cannot hear your mic.
We should be good now.
Okay,
Hey,
can you hear me?
Kristen, on top.
I'm sorry. I was
Sorry,
I was
he doesn't have Elgato to Wave 3.
too
And it got cut off again. I think.
about to throw this out the damn hotel, bro. What the fuck? Anyway, I was too passionate about Blitz. Anyway. Okay, so bleed, right? So yeah, I was saying how I've watched this team form, grow from nothing, and now picking up VA and all these roster changes, right? Their first game in Lotus. So Ye was on Raze. They went for a C execute. Okay, so this is what happens. Ye throws a nade, satchels in, catches his own nade, and dies in round number one. Round number 1 of Lotus. I mean, I think they won that game, but come on, Bleed, what the hell is happening here?
Girl.
Oh, sorry. Side point. So before we continue, I'm just gonna segue real quick. I see some questions being dropped in the comments. We have on the main stream the live Q&A function. That way your comments don't get they don't disappear. Then at the end of the stream we'll answer your questions one by one.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the point, right?
Back to Datum.
Bleed.
Yeah, they're still
bleed.
they're still
You're bleeding right
yeah,
now.
they're still bleed. They're still the 2023 DFM. I'm not changing. They're still down there. So, but please get better. Come on. Stop.
Why do you want him to get better, man? I mean, it's fun seeing him bleed.
They
Put Ye on his best agent, right? I mean, look what they did.
Ye on Jet.
They have Ye on the duelist, right? They have Ye on the duelist. Like, they have everyone in proper, like, what do you say, roles? I don't think Karetla is, like, in a proper role, per se. But if I may segue, I think the only problem with this Bleed team is the way they play and mesh around each other, right?
Exactly.
So from experience. I'm just gonna go on a little story here. When I was in Ascension, right, everyone's all eyeing on Bleed. Hey, they're gonna be this. Hey, they're gonna win that. Hey, they shouldn't lose to this. Guess what? They lost only to the Koreans. Right, only to the Koreans, which is fine, they're Koreans. But then the Koreans lost. And then they won against Japan, they won against Oceania. They had the easier bracket in terms of like in the playoffs. And then they win Ascension, right? And then they dropped their 2 best players in Juicy and in Crazy Guy, I think, and Nef.
Not the players, right? They dropped their freaking IGL, whose leadership
dropped their IGL.
won the championship in Ascension. What? It's like you'd have. It's like winning champions with Sadak at the helm, and then the following season you drop Sadak and Sadak alone.
Farewell,
What
Sadak.
the hell going on?
Yeah, and then they got in Yay.
Yeah, with the stronger reason.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have we don't know what's going on behind the scenes for Bleed, but I don't know, man.
We don't
Like,
know.
what's going on?
Yeah, the bleed.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything's just going wrong for them right now. I think the main problem is cohesion. From an insider perspective, it's cohesion. But I really want to go on a rant for this team. But I think it's not the time yet. I want to see that DFF match first.
Oh no, what
A
happened?
moment of silence.
Hello?
Hello.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
dude.
Real L.
Oh, I got scared for a minute. What is going on?
Anyway, bleed's a mess. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Bleed is a mess. I mean, there were some shining moments. I mean, Ye popped off a little bit. There were some moments, but he's still not El Diablo to my eyes. So
And dude, he went from the king of hell to
in hell.
or like someone like kicked Satan off his throne, dragged him through the mud, dropped him into the lowest circle of hell, and instead of being tortured, right, he has to do the torture, right? He's not even enjoying it. He's just there, just scream already, just die already, just like that. You know, like he gets the kills, he does it, but the thing that's missing from Bleed, right? Again, it's the leadership. It's a working system because, like, when you think about it as well, the reason why Ye was considered the best player in the world back in Optic before franchising was because he had a working system around him.
Yeah.
Right? The same way that Sentinels has a working system, Gen G has a working system. They have protocols for every situation. They have mid rounds that work, and they just don't have that in Bleed. And that's of course ignoring the fact that this is a team that's playing in English, where four of the players do not have English as the first language.
Yeah.
Or like is
Yep.
having difficulty.
I think the biggest difference. I think the biggest example of just that system is like Paper X and Bleed, right? Both teams from MYSG, both are from that region, but Paper X, they developed their own style. They got players from their own region,
They've come a long way.
and they've come a long way just doing them. Bleed, on the other hand, signed LeBron, signed Kobe, signed everyone they can, getting the best of the best. But each one of those has their own thing going on, right? So
Okay.
they can't just make it happen yet. So I hope they do, please.
Okay, but here's a question I want to ask you three. Do you think this is like this Bleed trend is gonna go down to the tier of lost to the FM or no? Do you see it uphill, downhill, staying there?
There is a possibility.
I feel like there is a chance for Bleed to continuously go down,
Mhm.
but
But
at least they're winning maps.
maps. Okay.
And besides, DFM isn't that bad.
They're not. No,
But
lost to lost to 2023 DFM.
Well, that's.
would they go lower than that?
I think if they are they gonna fight? They're gonna face Global this weekend
I
We
think
do
they're gonna be
we do have
facing
predictions
later
happening.
on.
RQ.
Okay.
Let's check.
Okay.
Let me,
Later on.
let me actually see.
Yeah,
While you
I think Bleed for now is a plateau, but you know, plateau you go up and then you go flat. Bleed is like they went down. They're negative plateau. So I think it could only get better from here.
Negative plateau.
So please,
Dude, that's just
This
like
guy's
another
making his own words.
vocabulary.
I don't know what to
Okay,
say.
to be fair, like it's so bad. Like, how do you even describe it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's this kind of thing that words. It's beyond words, right?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
rock
Yes,
bottom.
sir.
it's like rock bottom below that.
I think they can only get better. So fingers crossed.
I think
Hopefully,
yeah.
right? I mean,
Hopefully.
we want to see Pacific as a region ascending, right? It's not. We don't want to have a top one, a top two, a top three. We want to see, a region that's competitive all throughout. Where you want to see upsets like DFM versus T1 last week, right? I mean, that's what makes the league interesting, right? Seeing the tension, feeling that anyone could win at any time. And I think that's what we're all rooting for, right? Because I mean, you don't want to see Gen G winning again and again and again,
Yeah.
right? That's boring.
I want to see Paper X winning again and again and again.
And there's like a little bias for these guys
fair.
too. So.
The entertainment value of Paper X
Yeah.
Yeah,
compared to all the other teams, they're
really
fun.
fun.
They're so fun.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
There's something you can't deny about like you just fall in love with Paper X as a
This
team.
is the whole charm in
Right?
them,
You have Jing who's somehow just looking like a little kid
Exactly.
all the time,
Like
right?
adorable guy.
Forsaken, who, and then you have Alex who can't stop.
Especially with the
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, Genji, but Paper Rex is.
the
He's
branding.
perpetually molding. I just, it's part of the branding at this point,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Because when you have a team that's consistently performing well, you start noticing other things around them, right? Because you know that they're gonna be
They're gonna be
performing
good.
well. They're gonna be good. What else can we talk about? Oh yeah, then you see the personality, right? Like Gen G. We saw was it? It draws you in, yeah. Because you become more of a fan the more you watch them, right? Because you don't want to always watch highlight reels. Then at some point, oh, he's a great player, but what else is there? And then that opens up like people who become super fans, right? And we need those kinds of super fans in Valorant because
Exactly.
we need more eyes on the sport. We need generations to start tuning in. Right? I mean, we want to see our lolos and lolas,
Play Valorant.
Play-
That'll be
play
crazy. That'll be-
Valorant.
Paper Rex was performing so well, you know?
Why you
Mm.
turn into a hillbilly, Mochi?
I mean, that's the common accent.
Anyway,
you
anyway.
know?
Moving
Alright,
on.
moving on, boys. Moving on.
Moving
I
on.
think before we go to the predictions part of this podcast, I think this is the perfect time to answer some of the questions our viewers left in the comment section. Remember, guys, there's a Q&A function, but I think we posted it here. Alright, who wants to? I think you guys see it on your phones. First
I see it.
question. Pasabi kay El, ba't di siya nakibay sa inyo? I am at home. I am at home. These guys are in somewhere safe. I don't know where, but they have an event to go to,
Yes.
to tomorrow.
For those who are going to be going to the Oasis, we're going to be walking around. Yes, we're not going to be casting anything. We are regular con goers who are there to have a good time. If you guys wanna see, all right, it's our first time not going to a con without work. So yeah, we're gonna be going to the con. We're gonna be having fun, just walking around, having fun. If you guys want to meet us, we're gonna be there the entire day. We're actually, we're here because we don't want to commute all the way to the venue tomorrow. So we're staying in a hotel in the area.
Alright, so I think that answers the question why you three are in a camera, and while I'm posting, just like tonight with Jimmy Fallon or something. But yeah, I'm on the left side. You guys are on the right side. You guys look like guests on my TV show. But anyway, second question. Okay, from Daryl Kent. Does anyone think GN Sanity could have been a great addition to TS? With or without NDG? Okay, take note, with or without NDG, guys.
Okay, well, before I answer this question, shoutouts first for Daryl for making that article about us. We appreciate
Yes,
it so
shout out
much.
to
Thank you
you.
so much,
Thank you for
Daryl.
He wrote an article the other day. It featuring the
Tac Pause.
podcast.
Yeah.
Tac Pause on Clutch Points, which is
The best
it's an insanely large
Yeah, love to see it.
media platform. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for featuring us, and we hope you're having fun so far. It's episode number 2. We're gonna keep working to make things better,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just get the technology
Okay.
working even better as we go.
Okay,
Okay,
guys.
okay.
You guys answer first before you hear from an educated opinion from a coach side, right? Go.
Okay, L. Listen, guys.
Okay.
I think this is a fairly easy question to answer.
Oh, go.
Josh gave you the mic, right? I mean, that's enough.
Okay, guys, let me just read the question again. Do you think G and Sanity would have been a great addition to Team Secret? No!
Wait, you're missing the point. Where is the discussion? In these questions, there's always a why. You gotta answer the why, Dado.
Fine. I'm gonna answer. Okay, fine.
Okay, go.
Okay, no, okay. The reason why is I think G Insanity is the kind of player that needs a team drafted around him. And I think the track record shows it. I think the teams he's played for before shows it. And Team Secret, I think, already has some sort of something, a thing like that. They've grown used to this type of playstyle where it's not necessarily updated, but it's also not the most outdated. It's kind of like their own type of thing, but it's not as explosive, not as unique as Paper X. I'm talking about them sticking to the Sova consistently and having these set roles that they are just now starting to break. They already have their own thing. Adding GN Sanity to the mix, I think is only gonna be making it way worse. I think I think it's gonna be a hot mess if it
Sabi mo
happens.
yan eh. No. I mean, I can see the reason. Yeah, I can say the same thing. But at the same time, I can see why GN Sanity should be drafted in as well. Like, it's a 50-50 situation. You cannot know unless you try it, to be fair. But knowing that he is, there's tons of hype all around him, except for that specific, what happened. But yeah, it's unfortunate.
What happened?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Something happened. Something happened. Okay.
You guys can search it on your own. You guys are
I think
big
it's
bros
fairly
now.
well known at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
It was a whole explosion back.
Yeah, it's a whole explosion. But
Back
yeah, I
then.
really like how he's been, one of the players are like top notch. It's just unfortunate that he hasn't been drafted because of the said reason.
Well,
But yeah.
But yeah, okay. Josh, anything to add before I go on a sideshow type rant?
okay, I like
So,
this.
look, okay. I was gonna go on something of a rant, but I feel like it'd be more entertaining to leave it to you, right? Because we have been working together for a long time. I know we have the same opinions on this particular player, so I'm gonna leave it to you and let the audience know I 100% support whatever else about to say because we have talked about this in private, in public, and in person.
Imagine El says
So you
Okay.
guys know.
Imagine he says yes. He's gonna be good.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a big sip of coffee first. Okay.
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 It's all gassed
So
up.
do I think he's a good addition? Simply no. Okay. Why? No, but he's the Pinoy Jet. Yeah, he's number one in NA. He's number one in APAC. No. You know why? Okay. Here's the reason. He plays ranked. He plays ranked. He plays scrims. He plays a lot of games. He's smart. He's good. He has reach. He has followers. If you want to throw some content on, hey, buy the team secret, but I'm using it in my game. I get an ace with it every round. I don't really care. Yeah, sure. He's the complete package. But the thing is, what can he play comfortably? The Jet, the Raze, no, there's Jeremy for that. The Cypher, no, there's NDG for that. And the question said with or without NDG, right? So let's say it's with NDG, someone plays Cypher, someone plays Jet, someone plays Raze, hell, someone even plays everything else. You can't play Sova because Jesse Vash owns that role, right?
Yeah.
And what are you gonna play? Controller? Nah. There's a problem with the composition. There's a problem with the roles. That's why it's no. Yes, he brings in attention. Yes, he brings in a lot of good things. But in terms of team play, in terms of going to that level, I don't think he has that experience. Yes, he has a lot of experience. But do those experiences count them going toe-to-toe against some of the best in Asia? There is. Not a lot, but there is. Yeah? So that's the little caveat. So who else would be a possible addition to Team Secret other than NDG? I would say half the Oasis squad. I would say half the Now squad. I would say two or more players from that old Sticky Cat squad, right? There's not. Yeah, there's more players that comparably are better than GN Sanity. It's just
Okay, and right.
it's just going to be like
A small, quick
Small
trip
what?
down memory lane, right?
Ah,
Back
go,
when
go,
we were
go,
still
go.
Working with the D word.
with the
You
wall
remember that?
word.
We had a certain tournament that had SBE and GN Sanity's former team. And every time we would see GN Sanity's former team, there would be some sort of drama. There would be some sort of role problem. There would be some sort of, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know why they have so much hype, but they always lose. They have achieved nothing.
Is it
Mhm.
a mechanical issue?
I don't even think it's a mechanical issue. I think they're not able to be, again, it has to be arguably kind of the same thing as Ye, right? Except that he's not the best player in the world, right?
Mhm.
You need a working system around GN Sanity for it to work. You need to build around him, but who would want to build around him?
And we've had that.
We had that, yeah.
We've had a team around GN Sanity.
It didn't work.
Didn't work? No, it didn't. So how it's gonna work? How is it gonna work in Team Secret?
Yeah.
You're contradicting your
Yeah.
own.
Anyways, I think the bottom line here, boys and girls, is that
No.
yes, GN Santi is a good player. Yes, he brings a lot to the table. But does he fit in a team like Team Secret? No. Right? So I think that's the bottom line. So I think that answers the question.
Thank you,
There's
Daryl,
just some
for the question. Thanks, everyone, for the question. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
The opportunity to
Rant.
release our inner thoughts. And
Yes.
some of these thoughts have been here since
Oh, Lord.
2021.
Like at the edge of my seat, being so scared that later we can, you
This
know.
was back when I didn't even know I wanted to be a
Yeah.
color caster, bro. I didn't even know I wanted to be a color caster back in that time, and those opinions were already formed at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this?
Anyway.
How about this? So let's give, instead of like just roasting and giving opinions on Gian, right? How about let's rephrase the question. Which Pacific teams do we think Gian is a good fit on? Okay. Just to give him some props.
It's gonna be difficult because there's like
I think that's even harder.
yeah, it's every single team already has their like stars already, you know.
Okay, that question backfired. Next question, please. Just kidding. Alright, if you have any more questions, guys, don't forget you can just type it in. We're gonna see it. I'm looking at the stream right now. But yeah, I think that's almost every single question asked in the comments section. Yeah. So I think we can move forward, boys and girls, towards our predictions. Towards
Predictions
the
for the night.
next
So, unfortunately, we
week.
do not have any signboards or any of that technology today. So for us here, who are together, Team One. So if it's Gen G versus Paper X, Gen G is Team One, Paper X is Team Two, right in that order. So if you're Team One, you raise your right hand.
Can we do this again?
Can we just raise
You're not
one and
gonna
two?
see it. Okay, is it visible?
It's visible.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
do this.
wait. Let me get my phone. I'm the anchor. I should be prepared for this anyways. We're gonna go ahead and go for Genji, Paper X. Okay, get ready for your predictions.
Panic.
In 3, 2, 1. Show it to the camera.
Can't see your
Wait.
freaking logo.
I haven't
Just
even
give
found the
team.
logo.
What is that?
It's the team. I can't.
Oh, show. Oh,
Alright, I see a Paper X. I'm a paper boy. I see Daedom, paper boy. Paper boys. Everyone is a paper guy and
Except
paper
for me.
girl.
Genji.
Oh
this guy's
wait, you're Genji. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts first, Josh.
Yeah,
Why Genji?
again, right? I feel like Gen G, after having a stellar performance in Madrid, they didn't win, right? They didn't win, and because of that, they're hungry. They're gonna
Uh-huh.
keep going into scrims. They're gonna look for new plans. They're gonna try and solidify some protocols and things that have some intangibles as well, right? The experience on stage. You could see when it went to map 5 on Icebox, they started whiffing.
Yeah.
Karen was starting to miss his shots, which is uncharacteristic because we saw him just fragging out the entire event. And I think that extra hunger will keep Gen G in a good place of number one, confidence, right? Number two, of course, constantly trying to innovate what they already have.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair.
I get
I
the
can see it.
motivation. I get the motivation argument here, Josh. But you kind of pointed out the exact thing why I think they're not going to win against Paper X in the endurance.
Fair. Okay, fair.
I think in the endurance test, like in the international stage and in these grand championships where it's a best of 5 and everyone's already getting tired and they're getting tilted. I think that's where Paper X has the advantage. I think they're the ones with more composure because they have more experience and they've got their coach tilting already for the team. So the whole team isn't going to tilt anymore because Alex, that's what Alex is for.
Also, wait, one small point.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
They don't need to do it. It's a best of 3.
Actually.
True, that's true.
But
still, grand
yeah,
final.
but thoughts, Moshi, before I go.
Actually, I'm just saving the images of every single team. But yeah, personally, I really would like to vouch for Paper Rex just because of the fire right now. You know, like it's undeniable that they're shining brighter than ever before. Now that Jing is
Mhm.
back, now that they've got more stuff to work on with, and I'm sure that they're quite motivated and excited to do that. But yeah, for Genji though, I can also acknowledge the fact that they might be more than hungry than before. It's just
Mhm.
that I'm leaning more towards Paper Rex because they have or they can exert like a much more lighter atmosphere in comparison to Gen G, because Gen G there's like some hiccups from here and there, and I guess we already have witnessed that. It's just that the first match that we've seen them on is like
Mm-hmm.
a pretty easy match for them. So yeah, I just really hope that some of their players were going to be much more consistent, and hopefully that they won't overheat, because they
Uh-huh.
have like a tendency to overheat. So
I just saw the meme Joshua sent. What is this? What am I looking at? Anyways, for my
Now it's
thoughts, I think it's Paper
Sure.
X for me because I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned this. They have Genji right now. This current form of Genji hasn't played against Jing, right? So they don't have any experience with Jing. Plus, they don't have any experience against a team. Well, they did have some experience with Monyet, but they don't have an experience against a Paper X that is more creative, right? That's more creative. Yes, they fought against in Madrid. Yes, they have lost in Madrid against a structured team that can go crazy, but they haven't met Paper X as a team that is crazy, but when crazily structured, right? That's the perfect word for them. They're crazily structured because of the chaos that they can do. So I think that's how it's gonna go down for this Genji Paper X. I think it's still gonna be a 2-1 though, right? So, but it's
Yeah, for
Paper X
sure.
for me.
No one denies that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's gonna be
moving
a
on.
banger of epic proportions.
Moving on, after we have the current Masters Shanghai people or teams fighting off, it's going to be the Korean Derby, T1 versus DRX. I think I have my answer ready, and I think you guys do as well in 3, 2, 1.
You and your ex.
Wait, I saved it there.
There we go. Okay.
DRX.
Okay.
It's unanimous. It's unanimous.
Okay, so you
I,
guys just got the Tac Pause curse.
I, we should keep track of that, right? We should keep track of that. Anyways,
Tac Pause
why
curse.
DRX,
Then we
guys?
all
Why
bet if
DRX?
someone's gonna lose, they
They
won.
won.
Yeah. For some reason.
Or maybe we should all predict Team Secret's gonna lose. Maybe that'll work.
I don't think that's gonna help them in any way. Anyways, why DRX, guys? Why DRX? Why do you think they're gonna win this Korean Derby?
I think the current form of DRX, right? They've figured out some sort of there's a secret sauce that was sort of missing when Flashback was there. You got Bane, who we doubted at first, right? We thought he was gonna be playing the duelist and then everyone would have to adjust around him. No, they slot him in as a cipher in a system that already works, and he seems to have just elevated it even farther, right? I'd argue that this DRX even has the potential of upsetting one of the top two teams, Gen G or Paper X as well. I'd argue that because they look just so good, and the longer the season goes on, the longer the split goes on, they're not gonna get worse. They're gonna get better because this is DRX we're talking about, right? They have the coaching staff for it, they have the structure for it, and it's the kind of structure that does not degrade, right? They will always move up. I mean, we had DRX always making it to an international over the last few years. They failed to make it to Madrid, right? But you can also say that that's because of some something intangible, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they switch out Flashback. They bring in Bane. They look insane in the first week of the regular season, and now, right? I'd argue that DRX, if that's the first few matches that they're gonna get, or that's the performance you get in week 1, what else do we get in week 2, week 3, week 4? Right? What do we get for the rest of the split?
Yeah, I think we're also forgetting that their X was the top seed with Paper X before Genji came into the fray. They were so consistent, and they traded blows with Paper X from time to time. I think we just kind of forgot that last week, but they showed us that they're back in form, and they're.
Yeah.
I think they're bound to dethrone one of the top two.
I didn't forget, for the record.
Yeah, I think they have a shot. This split of dethroning one of the top two. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the sole reason why I voted DRX is because it's DRX. T1 hasn't won against DRX ever since their inception. And plus, it's full Korean, right? It's full Korean, and you have 3 Korean players on T1 and a random Indonesian and a random American. So it's English. I think the comms also makes some form of a play here, but they all speak English. Doesn't really matter me, but it's DRX. That's the simple answer. So we can move on towards this. This is gonna be spicy. I'm sorry, little one. This is Team Secret versus Zeta Division.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you
10
guys.
seconds.
I'm gonna give you guys time to think about who you're going to be voting because this.
Please, Jesse Bash, please.
Oh, you're gonna.
Please.
Oh no!
Are you ready?
Wait,
Alright, ready? In three,
Wait. Okay,
Okay.
I'm ready.
and ready in 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, little one.
Please,
I'm
Jesse
sorry,
Bash.
man.
Jesse Bash, please.
Okay. Datum, why? And not in an inquiring tone, in an
Wait,
angry
sorry.
term. Why?
Is it a feelings prediction or is it an analysis prediction?
Is it opium?
It's hopium. It's hopium. It's hopium.
Okay, why?
Listen, okay.
The
There's
Philippines needs a win.
yeah. I mean, okay. There's a little bit of science to it. Team Secret, they need their time to cook. They need to warm up. And Zeta, of course. I mean, we put them in the same. Oh, actually, we put Team Secret in a higher tier for a reason last week, right? For history. I mean, in history, Team Secret has been a little bit better than Zeta anyway. They've gotten further in international tournaments.
Mhm.
So I think it'll happen here. I hope it will. Please, Jesse,
Hmm.
please.
I mean, counterpoint, Datum. What if Zeta ban Icebox? And then they, right? I mean,
Mokrum's gonna pop off. I believe.
What if-
in Mokrum's.
no. I think I've seen enough from Secret, and the way that the Zeta Division is playing is they only lose heavily, but they win convincingly. Have you seen that sunset against Global Esports? It's a 13-1.
Yeah.
And it's against
Yeah.
Asova,
Yeah.
right? They're just gonna mess Jesse Bash up.
God, the Sova. You know.
I'm so sorry, man. Like this, the Soba has to stop, right? Again, I'm gonna. I wish I could pull up the clip, but they were on Sunset.
Oh, here we
Team Secret was playing Sova. Jesse Vash throws out a recon dart, sees two people. Immediately, like that's the first contact of the entire round. You know what he does? Again, for those who were not here 30 minutes ago, he immediately uses the Hunter's Fury, does not get a single tag, and that's it. They proceed to lose the round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, butt frag too.
Gosh,
Yeah, hard times to be a Filipino right here.
it's so hard, dude. It's so hard, right? I want them to win, but
Think they're not gonna win? Okay. Okay.
like it's want versus think, right? It's
Yeah.
heart versus mind.
Oh god, I guess I'm just a heart person there.
Actually, you are. But yeah, I think we all have said our thoughts for Team Secret Zeta. Any additional there, Mochi?
Nah.
Nah, exactly. We're all rooting against Datum here.
You always
the-
are. Yeah, come on. Let's just face it. You always are. Anyway.
Alright, anyways, moving on. Bleed versus RQ. Now, this one I want to see. Like, I want to see. This is like a very contested match for me. So, I'm gonna give you guys time to pull up the logos. And if you're ready, in 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry, Bleed. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith on Bleed.
Bro has
King of Kings, baby. Yeah, so RQ, I think there's no contest there, no? There's no contest in RQ, especially the way they beat Team Secret.
for the screenshot. L for the screenshot.
Oh, for the screenshot, wait.
Tac Pause curse. Whatever
RQ.
you wanna call it. It's gonna become a name at some point. It's gonna have a name.
Okay.
Screenshot. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think RQ just looks really good from that first week, and Bleed still a mess. Still a mess. I mean, I don't know if it's EA
Maybe
being
not this week.
maybe.
Definitely no. Sorry, definitely not this week. Maybe down the line. Maybe even in Split 2.
maybe.
I think a roster change is gonna happen first before Split 2, but at this point, I don't even know anymore. Yeah, just RQ.
RQ.
Yeah.
Oh, now that we're talking about RRQ, we do have another question from chat. And this comes from Daryl again.
Yeah.
So he says, what if RRQ trades or loans to get to Team Secret? Will it improve the all Filipino squad? Okay.
Actually,
But
go.
before that, right? Who do you switch? Who does to get replaced?
I think it's Borcom probably because Tuge is naturally a controller.
Yeah,
Is
he's a
is it an idea of give Jesse Vash more youth in the squad, right? Give him more firepower. Is that the idea? And
Yeah.
if that is the idea, what happens, right? Because I
Yeah, what
mean,
happens?
all things credited to Borkum, right? I feel like he's a powerhouse.
He's
I
so
think
good. He's so good.
It's a reason why we call it why we call it Borkum time, right? It's
Mhm.
the equivalent of Zom's Nation, even if Zoms doesn't play anymore. And Borkum, like he's been there since God knows when. Whenever it comes down to the time to clutch, Borkum
He's
is the one
there.
person you will expect to clutch like 80 to 90% of the time. And this guy's the clutch god for Team Secret.
Yeah.
So I then at that moment you also question, right? Will Tuge raise the floor or will it raise the ceiling? Because we keep talking about Team Secret as a team that's very inconsistent. They can look
Mhm.
like shit, and sometimes they can look like gods, right? And switching something around, does it raise the ceiling, aka make it more inconsistent, or does it raise the floor, make their lowest point higher?
Mhm.
So what's your answer? Do you think will raise the floor?
I feel like
Because like this also it might make things a bit longer, right? Because working time happens because of the inconsistency, right?
Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
Because he has to be, right? And I'm not sure that replacing Borkum with Toge will raise that floor, right? Because I'm not part of the Team Secret roster, so I don't know what the system is for them. I don't know what the protocols are. I don't know what the calls are. I don't know how they mid round. And I mean, considering what we're seeing over the last few weeks, does anyone know how they mid round, right? So
Mhm.
like in my head, right? Toge can be either, right? He'll either get rid
tough ask.
of he'll either raise the floor or just or keep the floor where it is and then get rid of the clutch
okay.
factor, right? You got those two things.
Is Tuge like the IGL for RRQ?
I don't think so.
No.
Who's the IGL for RRQ? I forgot.
I think it's Flipsider.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's Flip
so,
Slider.
yeah. It's gonna be quite difficult. Though I remember that Tuge sometimes or suddenly goes for calls, right? So yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah, no.
Just to add in to like the Togi conversation, I don't think Daryl also sent a follow up. Maybe they could run a double controller setup with Borkum. And here's the fun fact: Team Secret barely or once in a blue moon will only run a double controller comp. The only time they did it was on Split, if I remember correct, on Split in the grand
Yeah.
finals of LCQ. As far as I believe, yeah, grand
Is that
finals
an
and
a Viper or an Astra?
Omen Viper, yeah. And who do they play on the Viper? It was Envy, right? So it's going to be hard to justify playing double controller. Let's say Tugay does go to TS and he plays double controller. But then you take out one of their better winning potentials in maybe the initiator from, let's say, Envy, and you're going to leave Jesse Vash out of a role because a double controller usually means that it's going to be a flash initiator and there's no room for a Sova, right?
Sky.
Yeah, and they're always gonna play Sky, rob Envy of a role, right? So it's gonna be hard to like slot him in. But if ever, let's say, he replaces Borkum, yeah, like Josh was saying, it's still going to be the same thing that their controller is gonna clutch up because of how inconsistent it is. Who even knows, maybe if Toge was going to replace Borkom, maybe it gets more chaotic because he's trying to still adapt to the system. So for me, I think it's not going to be an improvement, rather like a long-term investment into replacing the roster with
In
the
like maybe
Fountain
in
of Life. Yeah,
2027.
yeah. Fountain of Youth maybe if Jesse Rush still plays in 2028, 29, 30 onwards maybe.
anyway.
Anyway,
Moving on. Okay, sorry,
going
I
back.
just have to say this. Like, it'll look like 2021 Sentinels. Everyone's there. Everyone leaves except for Tens. And but for this, it's too gay.
Exactly. Anyways, guys, going
Anyway.
back to the predictions,
Prediction.
where was I? I was on Bleed RQ, right?
Genji.
Now it's going to be Genji DFM. So I
Okay.
think I have my answer ready.
Yeah.
I mean, the Young Guns have already. I'm gonna show my answer now because I hate to think this far ahead.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Gen G
Yeah.
because of like DFM. Some people call them lucky against T1. I don't think T1. I don't think Gen G is going to be a game of luck or a match of luck for DFM. They're gonna get wrecked. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a different class entirely. It's a different weight class entirely. So
Hmm.
Gen G.
Bright
Gen
side.
G.
Well, there's always a bright side, no? But
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be like a good opportunity for DFM to further enhance what they think is already working out for them, in
Mhm.
contrary to what they had in the past match. And at the same time, it can also be an opportunity for them to know more what needs tweaking. I mean,
Learning
it's just a
experience.
start, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long way to go, potentially, but they're cooking
They're
already.
cooking.
So
Yeah.
all you have to do is like let them do that, and hopefully it definitely works. Because just in case that it does, it is going to be really groundbreaking.
Yeah. It's like a stepping stone, right? A stepping stone or a learning experience for them. Like, okay, we won because of this. We're gonna lose because of this. Okay, how do we fix this overall? That's gonna be like
Yeah.
DFM.
Yeah, exactly that. I think, yeah, I mean, the only way to to start ranking up per se is to start fighting above your weight class, like you said.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're not gonna improve by playing against people of the same level, right? You want to improve by playing by scrimming against teams of a higher caliber, trying to figure out what works for them and why you can't apply that to you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Develop that system around them, and then you have a working set of protocols, micro and macro protocols that will work for them eventually.
Yeah. That's pretty solid. It's a Gen G win, but it's a DFM win in terms of the learning that they're gonna get.
Yeah.
One heck
Right.
of an experience.
Next up. Yeah, our two favorite teams in the midfield, Global and Talon.
I
I
like that you call it midfield, like it's Aston Martin or whatever.
I mean, there's going to be the similarities between F1 and Valorant, right? So the midfield, Global and Talon,
Right.
I believe that this is going to be unanimous.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
So wait, I know why it's unanimous. Salvatore's not here, right?
Stop
So
voting for Global.
Yes.
Nobody's
Yes.
voting for Global.
Our boy is
Yeah.
in Batangas,
Dude's
getting
gonna
ready
Right.
for his
like,
own. He's gonna be casting tomorrow, and if he goes back on the VOD, he's gonna be like, well, he's catching strays every segment.
Why am I
exactly.
being attacked?
Yeah. So Talon, I think better overall.
50% guess rate. Come on, man. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, Talon better overall in terms of like showing they did not get 13-1 on Ascent on Ascent on Sunset to be fair. So Talon is going to be like the better and the stronger team in this regard. I think Global is still, in their honeymoon
Global is still
phase.
global.
Yeah, it's still globally losing everywhere, but yeah, I think for the side of Talon, they have pretty good senses. You see that ace on Lenny, right? There's
Yes.
going to be I'm gonna predict 2-0. Like quote me on this 2-0, right? So that's how much convinced
I'd
I
say
am on
2-0.
Let
Talon.
Really?
Let Lenny
Still
lead.
old, but
The joke that started in the Filipino squad while he was a sixth player, and now
Yeah.
he's the IGL for his team, and it works.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
works.
I wish Bleed just kept Lenny, man.
Anyway, moving on. So that's
Speaking of bleed, right? Let's bleed versus Zeta for the last of this week.
we missed one. We missed one.
Oh wait, that's T1RQ. Oh yeah, T1RQ. So I have a weird. No. You're just gonna have to see it. Ready?
3.
2, 1. Oh, you
Can't see.
can't see.
Oh, wait, we're split down the middle, huh?
let
There you go.
Oh.
Okay.
I am an RQ believer.
Yeah, I think this is a 50-50 because.
Alright. Why T1 boys? Why T1?
yeah, YT1.
Okay, so let me go first. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
T1 is still the same team that we took a look at last week. I mean, they're still the team that gave a lot of struggle for Paper X to beat them. I mean, T1, as you said, DFM, they might have got lucky within one matchup. I mean, I don't know, but T1 is still, I think, a certain caliber that RRQ is not at the same level at yet. I mean, RRQ have shown really good signs of life quite recently, but I think T1 still has a bit of an edge against them because the playstyle is very different, very different, but also very similar at the same time. But I think T1 has been at it far longer than RRQ has, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's me. I think T1 has the edge.
Okay, counterpoint though. I think Jemkin's gonna farm the Koreans. Right?
We'll see.
So
We'll
he's
see.
gonna
You know
shoot.
what?
He's gonna
Fair.
shoot some heads.
We'll see.
Plus, they have a Korean on their side, so I think it kind of evens out the odds. You have a Korean and the Russian, right? Then three.
It's
Basing on racist.
you can't make arguments out of them being Korean and Russians, Al. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Okay,
Al.
to be fair, T1 has an American, right? The most recent Masters winner is NA. So my point still stands, right?
That's serious.
He's trying so hard to not laugh.
It's guys, if the logic makes sense, look at the other FPS games. Who are winning? Russians, right? So come on, it's a valid argument. But seriously though, I think RQ has like better ideas in some maps. T1 seems to be like no, Rossi go Odin, brr, Viper Wall, something like that. So it's going to be very, let's say, cheesy. T1 is very cheesy, right? Excavate chamber, Rossi, Viper go, burr, Molly, Viper Wall everywhere. And then Saya player with the elevated mouse pad just scrolling all level to his head, something like that.
The elevated mouse
So,
pad.
yeah. So,
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
RQ.
an elevated mouse pad.
Remember that it's like the keyboard being like this, you know? So yeah, it's the counterpart of the mouse.
Yeah, so yeah, RQ better overall for me.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
Cute.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Much. What's your piece, Much?
What's your piece?
What's your
My
piece?
is, you know, like we have some doubts with Flip Saber some time before with regards to how consistent he plays. But right now, kasi from what I can see, it seems like he's actually one of the people who's trying to spear. I mean, other than
He's
the fact that
fragging.
IGL, yeah, he's so good right now. So
The
just
man
in
played
case they will
Yoru.
be- Huh?
He played Yoru, right? On Breeze.
Yeah, he played Yoru, and it actually worked out well for them. So just in case that they will be able to like pick up the pace from that foundation, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Right
crazy.
now, I just really want to see them prosper. To be fair,
Exactly. It's also crazy that Flipsider has the same size of forehead as Yoru. Comb back. If you guys watch the game, you're gonna see the likelihood of it, right?
Stop.
Come on, guys. These are the important points of how they win, right?
I want some.
It's the important points, guys. Come on. Anyways, going next are for the final one. It's Bleed versus Zeta.
Okay, what is
Alright. I don't think you guys are gonna vote for them anyway, but this is unanimous. Look at this. Look at the logo.
This is Bleed versus Zeta Division.
yeah.
I'm just saying it's the 2-0.
Wait, I can't find my logo.
Where's my logo?
I mean, you can't find if it's the. Don't tell me you deleted your Bleed logo as well.
No.
I swear, if
I would
if
never.
Matt deletes the Bleed logo, Bleed immediately win.
I am never.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm just saying, I put this way ahead. I am that committed. I will bet half my entire savings on this team, but I will not because I don't want to end up like Salvatore. So, yeah, it's Zeta.
the beneficiary of your seed?
Bro, it's 50% prediction rate, by the way.
I mean, more improvement.
I mean, yeah, so why Zeta? Yeah, they're looking kind of good. They're looking upwards there. They only lost to Genji. What else is there to love? They're going. I mean, to be fair, guys, if you think about it, Zeta's gonna face another global esports.
Yes.
Exactly right.
Yes.
So it's the same caliber.
More
So
expensive global esports.
Yes. And I mean, you also need to say, right? Zeta at the moment, we have two Japanese squads in the league,
Mhm.
and DFM are getting better. What's stopping Zeta from getting better as well? Right? I mean, Zeta have been a solid upper middle of the pack team over the last few years, right? They're definitely not near the bottom, and I would argue they can beat at least half, right? At least in
Yeah.
the upper half of the league, and that's what I think the Japanese have got cooking, right? Because I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, you have Zeta who have been fairly successful, not DRX level of successful of always being at the top, but you can always count on them to win at least a series, at least one of the two series that they have in a week. Unlike certain teams that are lower on our tier list. And then you have DFM, who have a newfound hunger coming in right in from Ascension, who also want to prove that they can go blow for blow up against the best teams.
And I think if anything has proven from our top teams, homegrown teams are the ones that make it to the top. And Zeta is definitely one of those.
Exactly.
I wish our team wasn't the exception to that rule.
Well, technically,
Imported, yay. What happened? What?
Okay, wait. To be fair, right? Again, the the English language will be the main.
Yeah.
problem.
and
Yeah, exactly.
I'd argue that maybe Team Secret speaks more
English than
or
anyone
like
No, I feel like that
right?
might work. When I think of it, you know?
maybe
Nah.
put him on I don't know, put him on full-time chamber duty or
You're right.
right or on the Sentinel, right? And or just put him on chamber all the time. I don't care.
As long as it works, right? You know?
I mean,
Imagine,
I think we're getting carried away.
imagine Yay versus Laz chamber off, right? They just 1v1 chamber.
yeah.
I don't think so. That's gonna happen.
Bro.
But the fact that Zeta's gonna play another global esports, because look at this, look at the Villa. They all have different flags. So yeah, that's automatically a win for like.
Oh wait. Side note: have you guys? I don't know if you guys have been seeing on your Twitter, right? The Twitter timeline. I scroll down. It's some random Indian Valorant fan who is molding about global esports. Like, why don't you just put in a full Indian roster? And it's the same thing every time. They're all pissed.
To be fair, it's a fair argument.
Yeah.
There are worse tweets than that. There's petitions. I've seen some petitions. I've seen some videos.
I've seen threats to the
exactly.
CEO of global esports.
Whoa,
It's that bad.
big.
The fan
Yeah.
base of global esports are not just molding; they are pissed.
Yeah.
They're about to raise up their pitchforks and torches, open up the gates of the global esports compound, rush in, and cut off his head and put it on a spike outside to prove how much they hate him.
And
That's the level of passion
crazy.
that GE fans have
that's
right
the
now.
thing is, it doesn't just extend to GA, it extends to the whole scene. I mean, even talents in their region they prioritize non-local talents over local ones. So it's like the whole thing is, I think, an amalgamation of the whole. I don't even know what region that is, but
Man,
it's
if you think Talon and global esports fan base is crazy, have I got to tell you about Team Secret's fan base? Have I got to tell you? You know what? They only show up at a specific time of day. It's when Team Secret plays. You're gonna see them in the chat, in the comment section.
Whenever they play, it's either Team Secret are gods, and then as soon as someone loses, NDG, why are you even here? Right?
Yeah, I don't get
And they flip like a coin, right? What, like 1 minute they feel like Team Secret are the best in the world, and they immediately change their minds as soon as they lose a round, and it's just like, guys, watch the game, bro.
And you know what baffles me is like some of these commenters on like the platforms, they turn into the best global analyst ever. Whenever TS makes a mistake, they're running me out of a job, honestly. Right?
Crazy to me. Like, you know what? I'm just peacefully munching on my chicha while I'm watching their matches, and then there's like, why is this team like this? Itong si player na to, apakapalit mo na ng ganto ganyan with toot, you know?
It's an unprecedented level of passion coming from these people.
And then there's like the random what they call this gray line fan like kapag may Pinay na naglalaro hindi niyo supportahan hindi naman magagaling uy supportahan natin tara something like that.
Pause. We're going on an unsupervised rant.
And I feel like if we continue down this path, we will get canceled. You know, arguably we might already be canceled by what we said earlier today, but not to the level of wherever it is that
Wherever we're going.
we're gonna stop.
Yeah.
We're gonna tap on the brakes.
Yeah, that's enough for today.
Yeah. I think that completely finishes like the segments we prepared. But I think there's only one more thing I want to talk about with you guys. So we discussed like the whole tier list. We discussed like the overall predictions for this week. Who's on Fraud Watch?
Sorry, what?
Who
is on Fraud Watch? Who's the fraud? Yeah, we should make this a
You know what?
segment.
We're gonna do this every week. Okay, at the end of the week, we will have a segment called
Who's on Fraud Watch?
Who's on Fraud Watch?
You know what would be the funniest thing?
Mizuki's gonna make a whole ass animation that goes across. When we say who's on Fraud Watch, it'll go like that across the screen and then just down there, right?
I don't know.
Then it'll zoom into someone's face.
Mhm.
It's gonna. I'm visualizing it right now. It's gonna zoom onto someone's face
Damn.
Uh-huh.
and say, okay, after this
scary.
week, Team Secret is on Fraud Watch. I'm so sorry.
Player. I thought it was gonna be a player.
It could be a okay. We're not gonna start. Okay. We're not going to limit it to the teams.
Teams.
If you want to talk, if you want to call out a player, you can call out a player. So if say for example, I wanted to say,
Blade Esports.
I know you weren't. I know that's not the.
But I love Bleed. I love Bleed, bro. I love Bleed.
That is so scary though.
Did you see his face? It was like.
Change his answer the last second.
Okay. Who's on Fraud Watch for this week, boys
I
and
don't know
girls?
about that, Josh. I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, for me, at the moment, you can't even say Bleeds on Fraud Watch because they don't even look good. A fraud has to look convincing at some point, right? And who looks convincing sometimes and fails most of the time? Our home team. Team Secret, please prove us wrong this week.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, something has to happen.
You have 4 days to prove it. Anyways, I think that wraps up Fraud Watch for now. We just wait until it turns into a full segment where someone goes sideshow again. Right?
Someone goes
So-
in, Bryn, you get shot, you die.
Yes, sir. So I think that covers every topic we have intended. I think again we have to wait a whole week for whoever is gonna botch their predictions. But anything else to say, Mr. Joshua, Mr. Mochi, and Mr. Didum?
Not much. I hope Bleed wins.
I hope Team Secret win. I hope DFM continue to make the scene look competitive. And of course, I think to close everything out, of course, thank you so much everyone for supporting us here. It's episode number 2. We're hopefully going to be, continuing this and, get more resources to make things even better for you guys, make things more entertaining. And of course, if you guys want to keep up with whatever's going on, at some point in time, we're going to only put the stream on the Tac Pause pages. But we're still in the process of that. So in the meantime, go ahead and follow us on Facebook at Tac Pause. Go ahead and follow us. No, it's not follow on YouTube. It's subscribe
Yeah.
to the YouTube channel Tac Pause Podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. So again, it's me, Josuave, Matt Datum, Mochi Cakes Uwu, and L on the other side of Metro Manila in the south. We're gonna be signing off for today. And we'd like to thank you all for your support. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you guys at the Oasis tomorrow. Bye.
I love it.
We're just gonna keep waving till Kim gives us the heads up.
No more Fraud Watch, please.
Dude, I'm so
Hindi ko alam na may fraud watch. Fraud watch.
I'm so scared.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm starving.
Thanks, Kim. We can put it on 3-minute timer and then end natin yung streams.